Rest him! Yeah, buddy! Rest him! Get that bad guy! Get that bad guy! Let me see your hands! Thresh him! Thresh him! Yeah, buddy! Get that bad guy! Stop resisting! Yeah, buddy! Get that bad guy! Stop fighting! Stop fighting me, mother! Yeah, buddy!
Watch up 5930, have Reno shut down on the East side. Get Reno
that
units
bad
up
guy.
on top.
Yeah,
On the
buddy!
Winston side.
Yeah!
Central and what again, Reno? Shut
Yeah,
down.
buddy! Come get it. Go hands on. Got it. Get his arm. Don't fight no more. Right, no! Right behind you. Right behind you. He's grabbed my arm. Come up behind you. Stop resisting! Just fucking relax. One on. I got one on. Go ahead, pull him. I'm trying. You got his shirt. Just rip his shirt off.
Anybody on green, somebody switch over to attack duty. They might be on that channel approach.
I think it is.
Yeah, Maul, what's the update?
There you go.
Horrifying video shows cops force K9 to maul surrendering man. Sheriff's deputies in Nevada forced their attack dog to maul man once he surrendered, had his hands on his head and was on his knees. By Jack Burns, July 10, 2017. Reno Envy, the task of bringing fugitives to justice falls to the capable hands of U.S. Marshals, and the Marshals typically have no problem capturing their target. But when they partnered with Washoe County Sheriff's deputies in January to apprehend Eugenio Enrique Corona, the fugitive was not returned to jail safe and sound. Corona had violated the terms and conditions of his parole when he was alleged to have been in possession of methamphetamines and a firearm. Instead of returning to prison, he is believed to have fled, forcing the Marshals to come looking for him. Washoe deputies caught up with Corona, and a car chase ensued but ended as soon as Corona stopped. He exited the car, got on his knees, and in typical prison submission fashion, interlocked his hands behind his head. He surrendered. However, instead of simply walking over and placing the wanted man in handcuffs, which would have seemingly been easy considering he was in the position of surrender, Corona's lawyers say Washoe police proceeded to sick their dog on him as punishment. Advertisement. For surrendering, he was tortured. In the video from the dashcam of one of the deputies' cars, Corona can be seen kneeling on the ground, hands locked behind his head. The cars roll up and stop, then a dog runs over and attacks Corona, clamping down on his arm and tearing into him. According to a report from the Reno Gazette-Journal, there were two deputies on the scene, Jason Wood and Francisco Gamboa. Wood commanded Roney to get that bad guy as the dog latched onto Corona's arm, biting him on the bicep and chest, the lawsuit said. A second deputy, Deputy Francisco Gamboa, punched Corona in the face while yelling at him to stop resisting, according to the lawsuit. Wood's command to get that bad guy was followed by the comments officers are trained to say when they want to punch someone, stop resisting. It is clear to see that Corona was in no way resisting, even when his arm and chest were being mauled by the attack dog. Read more. Dashcam shows cops smiling as they brutally beat, taser and sick K9 on compliant man for dancing. This raises the question, were the officers lying when they yelled for Corona to stop resisting, or were they just attempting to legally protect themselves while they punched him in the face? Corona's lawyers, Terry Kaiser Cooper and Luke Busby, contend in the lawsuit, the surrender was unequivocal. Corona was on his knees with his hands above his head. No reasonable officer could have construed Corona's actions as anything other than a complete surrender. Although a gun was recovered from the route of the chase, and deputies had radioed in that someone shot at them, the video does not reveal such an interaction. Corona has denied all of the charges against him, and he currently sits in the Washoe County Jail. He is suing for excessive use of force. The question also remains as to how the scene would have unfolded, if Corona had resisted, and attempted to defend himself against the vicious canine attack. Of course, some viewers would likely contend that he should not have run, and that he deserved the treatment he got. Others may say this incident serves as just another case of police brutality. But for pragmatic observers, it may appear as something less than humane, some type of cruel, indignant punishment for failing to get on one's knees fast enough. It will be left up to a judge or jury to decide if Corona's rights were violated, and if the deputies used too much force in their attempts to capture an alleged fugitive. As the Free Thought Project has reported, police sometimes use their canine officers or police dogs as a form of cruel punishment against suspects. On one occasion in May, a police officer in Pennsylvania allowed his attack dog to maul a compliant man and then bragged to a dispatcher about the injuries the suspect sustained. Read more. Watch: innocent man mauled nearly to death as cops sick canine on him with no warning. In the case of Eugenio Enrique Corona, do you believe the officers should have restrained the canine? Did they delay in removing the canine from the suspect? Would you have released the dog on the suspect if you were the officer and saw a man in a submissive position?
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.